Ladies and gentlemen, my history with KA is actually quite interesting. It's very, very interesting. Mr. Eli Karuhanga is a very interesting gentleman. Gets up one day, I'm going about my business normally, and he calls me and says, I want to meet with you. Then he had his firm, Karuhanga and Company Advocates. So I said, well, I will go and see him. So we meet, and tells me, do you know I have this plan? I say, plan? What plan is this that he's sharing with me? He says, we are going to start the biggest law firm in Uganda. I say, we? Yes, we are going to start the biggest law firm. And I look around the room and we're only two. So I said, this is a big law firm of two people. It's going to be quite interesting because I really needed to understand what was big about two. Because even where I was, we were two. So I said, really, this big law firm is also, he broke this down for me. And we started this really amazing journey with Eli. And he broke it down with so much precision and clarity on exactly where he wanted to be at a point X. It is one of those things, what would say in our vernacular, because this plan was really big, it was grand, it was, and I'll tell you that I was 3 years in practice. And here is Eli Karuhanga, has done it all, been a member of parliament, a practicing advocate, and he's telling you, you are the correct fit. You are going to be the best litigator. I said, this gentleman, and he wasn't drinking any wine at the time because it was early. So I said, there must be something not right here. But we continue with this conversation. Then we met Sam, had the conversation, then Oscar, and we had this conversation. And to be honest with you, Eli, I did not leave for any other reason other than simply getting overwhelmed. And I'm not very easy to overwhelm by any standard, but I was actually overwhelmed by this plan because at the time in our practice setting in Uganda, this whole thing about partnerships with law firms across the world and getting all these international practices they're not even being thought about. KAA pioneered that in this country. So when he was talking about this thing, I got overwhelmed, and on the day we were supposed to sign, I went to them, and all of them were in the room. Chief Justice Emeritus was there. Said, gentlemen, this thing, I can't do it. First of all, the numbers they were talking about were big. The contributions. You can understand, Joseph, you're 3 years in practice. And they were telling, no, you're a young man, we can carry you for a couple of years. And the numbers they were talking of, I had not anticipated them in my plan. So I said, this thing is a lifelong job because I cannot possibly pay it up. So, but the numbers were real, but the whole purpose and the whole friendship that was in that place, in that process, stayed with me all these years. And that is why when Joseph told me, I said, I must be there. The caliber of people that join KAA, the way they are chosen, the way they are mapped out, the way they are identified, is a meticulous process that Eli Karuhanga told me of 20 years ago. And for me, that strength in purpose, in having exactly a plan, a long-term plan, is what we do not have in our practice in Uganda today. And for those of us who are here who are practicing in Uganda, and those of us, and I know we have many clients here, and at times you find yourself interacting with other lawyers and other law firms, it's important for you to tell them that there must be purpose in what you do. There must be purpose in how you set up. And KAA is an epitome of exactly that. I don't know whether they've told you the history of this name, Kampala Associated Advocates. This was a very serious conversation, a very long and serious conversation, because you had Kiryowa and Company Advocates, you had Oscar Kambona and Company Advocates, you had Sam Mayanja and Company Advocates, you had Erika Rohanga and Company Advocates, you had Katureba and Company Advocates. You had all these law firms which had an existence in small, big, long, short, and then they had to come together. And the question was, and how childish and myopic we were. And Eli, thank you very much for staying the course, because he said, okay, what do you want to call it? And said Kampala Associated Advocates. At the time, it made so much sense. At the time, it made so much sense because we are bringing so many law firms together. But it has grown into KAA, which is a symbol of excellence in our capital today. And thank you very much, KAA. I am proud. I'm really, really proud to be associated with KAA. I tell you, when I was still in private practice, now I'm not. When I was still in private practice, every time they'd send a plaint, and you see KAA, you know how it is. You see KAA, say, oh, wait a minute, what is this all about? So you tell this guy, bring that file, bring it. Because when they say, no, KAA file that plaint, you need to be careful. There must be a problem. And I know that our firm and their firm have not been in the courtroom on any matter, because you are able to know that, no, I have good enough respect for that law firm, that by the time they file a plaint, there must be purpose. And when you read the purpose and understand where you're coming from, that is what we need in our profession today. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy to come by. And since I've been in office, I've really annoyed many people in the profession, because it's difficult. Sam was talking here and he said that the law firm was given 10 billion shillings 5 years ago or so to distribute to different people. Ask ourselves how many law firms in this country can actually be trusted with 1 billion shillings. Because you're getting into a situation where your attorney general cannot trust you to pay your client. So KAA, that's extremely, extremely admirable. And you must continue talking about these things. But as I conclude, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that KAA has put together a wonderful team of advocates, both in understanding of the law, but also in the culture. By the way, Eli, you stepped in my plan also. You know the plan that I had. I had my plan to make my farm big, and you stepped in it. Ellison and Zulaika know this thing, but we have never talked about it. I quietly swallowed humble pie, and we moved on, because I also had a plan, but it's okay. But you have a very wonderful team of young people, and I encourage all of us to continue supporting KAA, so that at least we can have law firms in our country which are respectable and can be taken out there, and they can be a symbol of our national character. Because it cannot be that we are all small. I pray and hope that KAA will continue to grow. I pray and hope that you will carry other people with you. You have got, we know how KAA has become the breeding ground for many things. You are going to lose more people as we get along, because Justice Katurebe was taken away. Now Sam Mayanja has been taken away. Many people will be taken away because you're doing a good job. There is no way they will be coming to scout people in your place if you're not doing a good job. So we really, really, really congratulate you on the 20 years you have made. It's not easy, ladies and gentlemen. There are not many firms in this country that are 20 years old. There are very, very few. And those that even still exist that long don't exist with the same character with which it started. KAA, Eli, you started a dream. You started a very big dream. You've done extremely well. And I am happy to note that even the people that are being recruited into KAA today still live up to that same purpose for which you started 20 years ago. So I don't have my glass here, but I wanted to propose a toast to to KAA. No, the wine can do just fine. I can see Honorable Karanga is still trying to take me speed. He wants to move me from wine to champagne. And you know now I'm a public servant. If I start seeing, if they start seeing my lifestyle changing, the IGG can come and ask, but you guy, when you join cabinet, you're drinking beer. You have grown to wine. All of a sudden you're on champagne. In 3 months, there must be a problem. I really don't want to be audited. So let me stick to this. But ladies and gentlemen, let's toast to KAA. When you have a purposed foundation and a good start, the sky is the limit. To KAA, the sky is the limit. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.